Walk the walk inside the talk.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They are led out by the 15th overall selection in 2019, former Ohio State Buckeye Dwayne Haskins.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffling. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The safety blitz works perfectly that time for Landon Collins.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Third down. Here's Haskins. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Wrigley. Picked by Pierre Desir. But no doubt, a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
They'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Running with Howard. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Adam Thielen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints have taken the early lead.
Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offense.
He's got daylight. The 30. Touchdown, Cowboys. in for the score. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
The numbers there for Howard a week ago. 18 carries, 66 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
11 yards there, first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. And that's this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in.
Now Breeze lost the football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill, or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. Running left, it's Barkley. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. From the gun, Haskins on third down. Space to maneuver at the 40. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's a give to Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Haskins. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Calvin Ridley more than justified his first-round selection in 2018. 64 catches as a rookie and found the end zone 10 times. Did a nice job getting open right there and picking up a first down.
To throw it, and that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Calvin Ridley, his first touchdown on the year, and the Cowboys have taken the lead. What's good on the extra point? Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Here we go.
The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. To throw is Breeze. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Breeze. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards there, 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Trey Flowers, his second sack of the night.
Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Now Breeze. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Oh, he's got some breathing room.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Let's go. 50. Don't get nervous.
Haskins looking to throw on first down. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
3rd and short, McKinnon. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Lutz's kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. Or kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
And this will be taken at the 13. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now it's Haskins. Oh, it's intercepted. He's trying to give it to Ridley. Picked off by Brian Body Calhoun. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Reed. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Breeze now. His pass caught at the 4. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Throw left side on target to Thielen. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Again, it's Breeze. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Tried to go back again to Adam Thielen, but it'll be 2nd and goal. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. The kick by Marr is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
So we have reached half. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission.
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Throwing again on second down. Breeze. Pryor has it complete. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard. You probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about that little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you. I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Trey Flowers there on the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now Howard. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. He was brought down by Kamu Grugier-Hill.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver. One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he's not quite going to get to the marker. It'll be a gain of 8 on 3rd and 10.
You got it.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from the first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Now it's Haskins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Handoff, it's McKinnon. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Eric Kendricks, the Vikings' leading tackler a season ago, in on the stop. They run once more with McKinnon. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
And, Brandon, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
In the backfield, standing alone on 2nd and goal is McKinnon.
He's coming.
Now they'll look to Haskins to throw it. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. The quick slant caught. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch, and the Cowboys will extend their lead.
No lead safe in the new NFL, but this score is really going to give them some needed breathing room.
Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sidelines? You see the coaches signaling, all the personnel groups up on the sideline, ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now Breeze. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Out of the gun, this is Howard. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Desmond King making the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On 2nd and 7, Breeze. Looking left sideline, incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either.
And he's got him. Touchdown, Saints. Vernon Davis, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints are back within a score. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him.
After review of the play,
it took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Breeze now to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
This is taken at his 4. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Haskins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Haskins. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball, You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Drew Brees in the offense. Down by 5. A minute 44 to go. Their perfect start to the season in jeopardy unless they can score here as they've got it 1st and 10. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. They'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the 1st down. I thought that was the key.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. To throw is Brees. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score. And he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
Now McKinnon to start the drive. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Here again is McKinnon. That he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's McKinnon. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys, and they were really helped by